It was the perfect storm of bad ideas. First, it was Halloween night. Second, we were bored. And third, Tyler dared us to spend the night in the old Greenwick house, the one everyone in town swore was haunted. Add teenage overconfidence and half a bucket of candy corn, and suddenly 6 of us were trudging up the hill toward the creepiest house in Maple Hollow. The Greenwick house loomed like it had been specifically designed by an architect who hated children and sunlight. Windows boarded up, roof sagging, porch steps that looked like they were auditioning for a before photo in a renovation commercial. And of course, the legendary backstory, Old Man Greenwick, the eccentric inventor, vanished without a trace 50 years ago. Some said he built a portal to another world. Others said he just moved to Florida. Either way, the house hadn't been touched since. "Guys, this is so click," groaned Mia, adjusting her witch hat. "We're literally walking into a horror movie setup." "Exactly," said Tyler, puffing out his chest like the world's bravest scarecrow. "And when we survive, we'll be legends." "Or ghosts," muttered Jason, who'd already eaten 3 fun-sized chocolate bars and looked like he regretted everything. The door wasn't even locked. It swung open with a groan straight out of a sound effects library. Inside, the air was musty, heavy, and full of that smell old houses have, like dust, secrets, and expired soup. We flicked on our flashlights. The beam lit up peeling wallpaper, broken furniture, and cobwebs so thick they probably had their own zip code. "This is fine," I whispered to myself. "Totally fine. Just a house. With character. And possibly tetanus." "Living room," Tyler declared, pointing dramatically. "Base camp." We set down our sleeping bags, lit a couple of fake candles, and opened our Halloween loot like brave explorers rationing supplies. That's when the noises started. At first, it was just creaks. Houses settle, right? But then came the whispers. Faint, scratchy voices in the walls, like someone muttering secrets through a tin can telephone. MIA's eyes widened. "You heard that, right?" Jason swallowed loudly. "I definitely did. Please tell me it was just the plumbing." "In a house with no running water?" I said. Silence. Naturally, we did the dumb thing and decided to investigate. The whispers grew louder as we tiptoed upstairs. The staircase protested every step like it was allergic to teenagers. At the top, the hallway stretched ahead, lined with doors that hadn't been opened in decades. We chose the farthest door, because of course we did. Tyler pushed it open, and inside was a study, frozen in time. Shelves of dusty books, a desk piled with yellowed papers, and in the middle of the room, a large, brass contraption that looked like someone had glued a telescope, a typewriter, and a waffle iron together. "What is that?" Mia whispered. Jason squinted. "A steampunk toaster." "No," said Tyler, awe in his voice. "It's Greenwick's invention. The one everyone talked about." The whispers were louder here, circling us like invisible moths. And then the machine hummed. Lights flickered. Gears whirred. The whole contraption came alive, shaking off half a century of dust. Before we could run, the room lit up with a blinding flash. When my eyes adjusted, everything was wrong. The study was glowing with eerie blue light. The cobwebs were gone. The books looked new. The wallpaper was fresh. And standing in the corner was a figure, tall, thin, dressed in a suit to sizes too big, and glowing faintly like a human nightlight. "Welcome," the figure said, in a voice that sounded like 3 people talking at once. "I am the Guardian." We all screamed, simultaneously, impressively loud. "Actually, calm yourselves," the Guardian said, raising a glowing hand. "You have activated the Rift engine. You are now standing in the threshold between worlds." Jason whimpered. "I knew I should have stayed home and watched Scooby-Doo." The Guardian explained in between our panic babbling that Old Man Greenwick had built a machine that opened doors to other dimensions. Unfortunately, he opened one door too many and got stuck somewhere between reality and, well, wherever. Now, every 50 years on Halloween, the Rift engine powered up again, and anyone foolish enough to step inside the house risked being pulled into the in-between. "So you're saying we're doomed?" Mia asked. "Not doomed," said the Guardian. "Merely candidates." "For what?" I asked. The Guardian smiled, revealing way too many teeth. "For a test." Suddenly, the walls of the study shimmered and melted away. We were no longer in a dusty old house, we were in a carnival. A nightmarish, glowing carnival where the rides ran themselves and the cotton candy screamed when you bit into it. The guardian's voice boomed overhead. To return home, you must survive 3 trials. Oh, great, Jason groaned. We're in a supernatural game show. We found ourselves in a hall of mirrors, except every reflection was wrong. One mirror showed me as a zombie, another as a clown, another as my math teacher, which was easily the scariest of all. The trick was finding the real exit. Tyler, full of misplaced confidence, sprinted ahead straight into a mirror. He bounced back so hard he left a nose-shaped smudge. Eventually, it was Mia who noticed that one reflection was blinking out of sync. We pushed through that mirror, and the maze dissolved into smoke. Next, we stood in a field of jack-o'-lanterns, thousands of them, glowing with evil grins. At first, they were just pumpkins. Then they grew legs and arms, and started throwing pumpkin guts at us like toddlers with spaghetti. We screamed, ducked, and ran. Jason slipped on pumpkin innards twice. Tyler tried to fight one with a flashlight and lost. I swear Mia kicked one across the field like a soccer ball. Finally, we spotted a glowing scarecrow holding a lantern. When we touched it, the pumpkin army froze. Then, in unison, they shouted boo and exploded into harmless seeds. The final trial was a ballroom. Shadowy figures in ghostly tuxedos and gowns swirled around us in a waltz. The guardian's voice boomed again. To pass, you must join the dance. We exchanged looks of pure horror. Wait, Jason said. That's it. Just dance? Easier said than done. Every time we tried, the shadows moved faster, spinning us, tripping us, tossing us like rag dolls. Tyler attempted a breakdance move and got yeeted across the floor. Finally, Mia grabbed my hand. Follow my lead, she hissed. We stumbled, twirled, and somehow managed a clumsy waltz. The shadows cheered. The music swelled. And then everything dissolved into light. We were back in the study. The Rift engine powered down with a sigh, as if it had run out of batteries. The Guardian gave us a toothy grin. Congratulations! You have passed. You may return home. Jason collapsed onto the floor. I am never trick or treating again. The Guardian tilted its head. As a reward, each of you may take a gift. The desk drawer slid open, revealing candy. Full-size chocolate bars, licorice, lollipops, a mountain of sugar. You've got to be kidding me, Mia muttered. Farewell, said the Guardian. And happy Halloween. With that, it vanished into smoke. We stumbled out of the Greenwick House just as the sun was rising. No one believed us, of course. The neighbors just thought we'd pulled an all-nighter eating candy. But sometimes, when the wind blows just right, I swear I can hear faint carnival music from inside the house. And every Halloween, we gather on Tyler's porch with our full-sized candy bars and laugh about the night we survived the scariest sleepover of all time. Because if there's one thing we learned that night, it's this: the afterlife may be terrifying, but it's got excellent snacks. The end.